one of the things that will add a bunch of new flavor. We've actually got a video. Peter, can you roll that first one? Because there's a familiar enemy that may not be so familiar to the underground that we can see up on screen now. It's something that people have been talking about for a little while. Is that something that's going to happen? It's already spoiled right now, so we're seeing hunters in the underground. What's going on?
Yeah, so the idea for us is that the hunters are patrolling the underground now, and they're after division agents. They want to get more watches, so they're in there. They're the deadliest enemy down there, and the idea is that we want them to be unpredictable. There's a chance of them spawning pretty much anywhere in the underground, so you may think you've just done an objective, the pressure's off, bang, the hunters are there, and they're on you straight away. And awesome. We want them to really kind of be feared in the underground, but also the other side of it is that they're going to give you really good rewards as well.
Very cool. We'll talk about rewards in just a little bit, but Jim, can you take us through a little bit how the hunters will spawn? I know, Paul, you're talking about how they might be like a little bit of a surprise for people. What's going on there? So I'm running through the underground, and what's going to happen?
Well, okay, so whether you're alone or with a group of your buddies, there's always going to be one more hunter that spawns in. And they're basically, they could jump in at any moment. You don't know when it's going to happen. You maybe will have just completed an objective. You're waiting to get through to the next room, and the door doesn't open, and it's a bit bewildering. And then all of a sudden you hear that telltale sign of the hunters, and you've got to basically regroup really quick and decide how you're going to defeat them with either yourself or with your buddies.
Okay, so it's group size +1. So if you're by yourself, you'll have 2 hunters?
You'll have to fight 2 hunters,
right,
yeah.
Okay, and 5 if you're a group of 4?
Yep, 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a higher chance of them spawning on higher difficulties as well, but you will see them on hard as well. Okay. They don't spawn in normal.
Okay, so you have hard, normal, hard, and challenging, right? And but they'll only spawn in what, hard and challenging? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, but a higher chance to spawn in challenging.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things I was thinking about a little bit earlier, when you're playing, because you have 1, 2, and 3 phases, right?
Yep.
What's the most amount of times a hunter can spawn in that session?
Well, you'll only see them. You'll see them once potentially in a 3-phase mission. Okay. You might not see them.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into particulars about what the numbers are, but eventually everybody will see some hunters.
Okay.
And if you face them and you lose to them, they're going to be gone for the rest of that mission.
Okay. All right.
So the idea is they come in, they take you out, their work is done, they grab your watches, they go home. They're done with you. They go have a cup of tea or whatever it is hunters do after they kill a bunch of players.
Okay. But you could feasibly play a few sessions and never see one?
Yeah, you could, but you will eventually always run into them. They will find you.
All right, very cool. So like you said before, if they kill you, they're gone.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for that particular round.
All right, very cool. We actually have another video to look at right now, because as well as having a familiar enemy showing up in the underground, we also have a familiar location that might be showing up again. So the rave room is back.
Yes.
That's awesome. Actually, someone already picked it. Demonic Crow saying in chat, bring back the rave room. And there you go, man. There you go.
We did it for him. We did it for Demonic Crow specifically. Yeah.
So this obviously won't be in every session that you play through, right? But people will come across it again?
Yeah, it's back in the mix. Previously, you'd only see it during the tutorial, and it's just such a great room and such a great space to fight in that we wanted to get it back in, and we know that everybody else wanted it back in as well. It's one of my favorite rooms to fight the hunters in. It's a really good fight.
Yeah, but there won't be hunters in it every time, but there may be.
Not every time.
They may spawn in there. Okay.
Yeah, they might.
Very cool. All right, I'm sure people will start sharing videos of that when that does happen for them. Yeah, so we're about to see, I think, the demise of this player. I don't know. I can't actually remember in this video if our player dies. But anyway, fighting a hunter in this room is going to be sick. There are some other changes that you guys have been making to the underground. Obviously, part of the player experience, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Paul, was the directives. You mentioned that from the data that you've been looking at, that there were people who were either not using them or there was a drop-off. What kind of things have you been doing there?
So for the new directives, what we've done, we've taken the 5 old ones and we've kind of put them to bed, and we've come up with 5 new directives.
Okay, so
and they're all based on.
Okay. So when you say kind of put to bed, they're completely to
gone.
bed. All right.
They're gone.
Just making sure.